A story of dedication, craftsmanship, and the people who keep Britain's timeless treasures ticking. As most of the nation prepares to enjoy an extra hour of sleep when the clocks go back this Sunday, there's a small, devoted group for whom the weekend time change is anything but restful. Across the West Country, the quiet ritual of turning back time is underway, not by pressing buttons on digital screens, but by adjusting centuries-old clock mechanisms that still mark the rhythm of village life. At St. Catherine's Church in Montacute, church warden Nick Lecoq climbs the winding stairs to attend to a timepiece that has ticked through 6 centuries of British history. The church's 15th century clock, recently refurbished, remains a marvel of medieval engineering. It's quite notorious that somebody will turn up an hour late or an hour early for church on Sunday, Lecoq says, with a smile, so we make sure someone is there at the old time just in case they aren't locked out. For Lecoq, the task of resetting time is both simple and sacred. At this end of the year, it's much easier, he explains. I stop the pendulum for an hour and then wait. The 600-year-old mechanism has been absolutely brilliant. It's settled down beautifully after its refurbishment. It's a huge responsibility and a great privilege to do it. In Bristol, millions of railway passengers glance up each year at the grand clock above Temple Mead Station, its 8-foot dial a familiar sight to commuters. Ironically, the mechanism that drives it is called a waiting train movement, a touch of humor not lost on the man responsible for its upkeep, horological engineer Andrew Nicholls. As far as horology goes, it's a modern clock. Temple Meads was bombed during the war, and the clock we have now was installed afterwards. Every October, I make my rounds, London, Reading, Bristol, and reset each clock on Saturday night so travelers have the correct time on Sunday. For Nicholls, the craft is a marriage of art and engineering. The old stuff can be temperamental. You have to understand the personality of each clock. You're working with techniques from a time long gone, and that's part of the beauty. In Swindon, Peter Wheels, a volunteer at the Steam Museum, tends to a collection of 16 railway clocks, many once used by passengers of the Great Western Railway. It takes me a few hours to get through them all this time of year. Some of them are over 100 years old, and yet they're generally accurate within a minute or two. Sometimes I take them home to my workshop, strip them down, and bring them back good as new. And in Gloucestershire, Marcus Jelfs continues a century-old legacy. Each week for the past 5 years, he's driven from Upton St. Leonard's to Stroud to wind Sim's clock, affectionately known as the 4 clocks. The piece was completed in 1921, funded by a £1,000 gift left by local shopkeeper William Thomas Sims in his will. Inside the tower, a massive pendulum slowly descends over the course of a week before Jelfs winds it once more. He cheats a little and changed the time around 9 at night, he admits, so it won't inconvenience too many people. Then, more thoughtfully, he adds, most clocks now are electronic, but it's nice to keep that history going. For most of us, the time change is a matter of convenience, a simple turn of the dial or tap on a screen. But for these keepers of time, it's a moment of continuity. Their hands bridge centuries, ensuring that history still ticks on, one pendulum swing at a time. Because when the clocks go back, it's not just the hour that changes. It's a moment when past and present move in sync, and tradition, for one more season, keeps perfect time.